So I make a triumphant return to this city, and I come back, and there's not much that's changed, as you can see from this guy sitting right here. So let us go and see if we can find more cheerful atmospheres. After my 2 years of absence, I find that some things haven't changed, and that there's still a lot of homelessness, poverty, and violence that exists in the city, and it's going to continue to exist in this city. It's just a fact. No matter what happens, no matter what we do, no matter what kind of programs are instilled, what kind of progress is made, people are going to continue to sleep out in this street. It makes you wonder, are all these programs and benefits worth being put in place when there's people that still continue to sleep out here, die out here, fight out here? I spent many hours walking around on these very same streets. I know what it's like, and I get tired of trying to explain it to people who have never been in this position, because I'm reading a lot of comments, even on the videos that I made 2 years ago, and I can tell just by reading the comments that certain people don't know what they're talking about, just because they've never been in the position. And I can't sit here and make 5,000 videos about this. I can't tell you what it's like to be out here any more than a Navy SEAL can tell you what Hell Week is like if you've never been in the military. That's the only way I can compare it. I just don't know how else I can explain it. I can show you videos like I do. I can interview people. I can explain things. I can show you all the places where these people stay. I can show you where they hang out. I can show you where they get drunk. I can show you where they get high. And in a lot of cases, I can show you where they sleep, because not everybody stays in a homeless shelter. And there's reasons for that. There's lots of reasons for it. If you want me to make a video about that, I can, but I don't plan on making a video about it because I don't think I should. I don't see why I need to. But going down this way, I can show you something that some people wouldn't believe, but I'll show it to you. This was a homeless shelter right down here on Smithfield Street. And for those of you who watch my videos who are homeless, you know that I'm not lying and I'm not making this up. The sad part is about the statistics concerning this problem is that a lot of people, no matter what is imposed on them, no matter what kind of help they receive, they're just not going to get out of their situation. And this is it. This was the place. This is where it all happened. The historic landmark Smithfield Congregational Church, right there. This is where I stayed for about 90 days. It was run by Mercy Hospital. We went right in these doors here, right here, downstairs, into the basement. That's where it all started. That's where it all began. That's not where it ended. That's another story. And I haven't told you about that, and I don't plan on to right now. Maybe I'll make a video of it, maybe I won't. A lot of memories. Some good, some not so good. It wasn't all bad being homeless. Nothing good about it, but I know that's hard for you to believe, but I don't know, there's a, how can I explain it to you? There's a certain amount of freedom about it. You didn't have a home, so you didn't have to worry about it. You weren't on any time limits. You weren't on any constrictions. You weren't on any restrictions. You weren't even on any rations. There's more than enough food to eat in this city. There's lots of places to eat. So when I hear about homeless people in Pittsburgh going hungry, I find it hard to believe. Now I know there are ones that do, and it must be by their own volition, because I can tell you with a 100% degree of honesty, I did not. I did not go hungry. When I first got here, I did, because I didn't know exactly where to go. But once I knew the ropes, like most people who end up homeless, you'll find out what it's like. Then you'll start hanging out with individuals who will point you in the right direction. And once that happens, you begin to realize that your situation is not hopeless. No, I don't. I wish. Whatever that means. Anyways, that's one good thing about this city. There's a lot of colorful characters in here, let me tell you. Met a lot of them. Still continue to meet them. So I guess this video is a type of closure for me. I'm just circling the streets that I used to walk every single day. And you can see them in all of my old videos. Just not much has changed. I still have the same feelings, same conflicts. I don't know. Some things are different, I guess, and some things are not. There's the Catholic Charity Corner right there, that aqua sign. You could get book bags in there and food and some clothing. A lot of the Catholic Archdiocese here operates a lot of the programs here in Pittsburgh for the homeless, and they do a wonderful job, despite what others may say. They kept me alive. Truly, they did. I've walked these blocks many times, crossed all the bridges. I could walk it blindfolded, to be honest with you. A lot of stories to tell. A lot of stories I haven't told you yet. I can even tell you stories about a considerable group of people who most of the American public is not aware that are homeless. Maybe I'll save that for another video. I might make a couple more. I do plan on coming back here, so I do frequent this city from time to time, even though I don't live here anymore, but I figure, you know, this was something that I needed to do. And today I thought was a good day to do that. You can't see why it's wrong to. There's a lot going through my head right now, even as I make this video, because I'm just looking at stuff like you are right now, and I just know, just from looking at certain people, that they're homeless. I can just tell. I can just tell by looking at them. I can tell by how they act, how they try to hold their face, and you see a lot when you stay out here after a certain amount of time passes. You get used to seeing things in a different way. But you also get to see things now in a way that you couldn't before, and that's kind of what I'm doing now too. So I'm having like the best of both worlds. I'm up here with clothing, I'm up here with a camera, I have money in my pocket. You know, when I made those videos before, I didn't. That was all I had, was that camera. And I'll explain that later, how I accrued that. No, I didn't steal it. It was a gift. And that's how I made those videos. But, well, this is a different ball game now. It's a whole different ball of wax for me, I suppose. I think it's more, I don't know. It's like I have more of an authority on it now than I did before. Only because I know what I know now, what I didn't know then. It's a big city, folks. Tall buildings. Cold and lonely when I was up here. Hopeless, desperate. A lot of things race through your mind when you live on these streets. A lot of people don't make it in spite of their circumstances, in spite of their intelligence, in spite of their talents. No matter how much help they receive, there's just a large amount of people who just aren't going to make it off these streets. They're going to die. It's a fact. And there are some who will make it off these streets. Victim of circumstance, in some cases. Most of it's brought on by their own misfortunes. And that's a fact. It's an unfortunate world we live in. It's a cruel world. It's a violent world, but it's also a merciful world. It's also a good world. You just have to be willing to make the right choices. Even if you're a victim of circumstance, you know, these streets can either advance you or they can break you. It really comes down to that. Here's those beautiful churches that I spent so much time in. We're on 6th Avenue right now. Now we're crossing it. Oh, geez, things just seem different, but in another way, they seem the same. Some of these folks I remember from 2 years ago. It's the same people. I've already seen like 5 people that, as I said, some things just aren't going to change. No matter what these people do, no matter what kind of help they're given, they're just not going to get off these streets. It's not going to happen. That's the sad, cruel part about homelessness. This is what the papers don't tell you. And last year, when the Los Angeles Times was running their first article about the homeless situation there, it's nearly doubled since that time. There's, what, 60,000 people on the streets now in Los Angeles? 60,000 people aren't going to have a bed to sleep in tonight? San Francisco has about half that number. I don't know what Pittsburgh has, because even with the shelters that they do have in place here, it's not enough for everybody. It never is. Now, this is a bad time of the year to be homeless, even though it's unseasonably warm for wintertime. But it's still a bad situation to be out on these streets because they're dangerous. This is a city. And despite what you may think, oh, well, you're safe in the city. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's actually worse because it's big and you don't know anybody and it's dangerous. Vigilance is your best protector out here. I don't care what anybody else says. And you got to be around the right people. You got to put yourself around people you know you can trust, and that's a hard thing to do. It's not easy. It took me almost 6 months. And now I'm looking around, I'm walking around, and I'm seeing things, and I'm reminiscing, I'm thinking, I'm reliving a lot of the thoughts and emotions that I had back then. I used to come here a lot, right to this little courtyard here. Look how big these buildings are. Look a lot better on this camera. This is it, the heart of the city, right here in downtown Pittsburgh. So I came back to just say that I'm glad I made it out. I'm glad that I'm still alive. I'm glad that I'm still able to make a difference. I'm glad that I'm still able to share videos, to upload these sequences and experiences for people to maybe at least get some sort of impression of what it's like. And that was my whole idea behind this. That's why there's no editing, there's no unadulterated things going on here. It's just a straight shot, one camera, one video, no editing, no scenes, no clipping, no directing, just me and the camera. That's how I made the series in the first place, and that's how I'm going to continue to make it. Now, I may do that differently with other videos and other series that I have in mind, but not for this. This is Die Hard 100% Mark here. And I'm giving it to you like it is, and like I know it, and like how I experienced it. So, if you guys have any comments you want to say, just drop them below this video. And I am going to tell you before I end this, I am making a Pinterest board on homelessness in Pittsburgh. I'm going to drop a link below this video so you can check it out. If you're on Pinterest, follow me and you can check out that board. Now, I haven't put anything up yet, so just wait and stay tuned for it. It's going to be within the next couple of days after the release of this video. So stay tuned for it. If you're on Pinterest, follow me. Just look up my name and you'll see it. I already have street photography on there, so let me know what you think. Any opinions, any objections, any protests, any BS you think I'm giving you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.